more houses, more roads, and more people. Those are the building blocks that make up our ongoing Boomtown series.
And every day I get a call from somebody moving from the west side, trying to get out of Seattle or trying to get out of California.
In a special report, we are digging deeper into local population growth seeping out of urban epicenters and into our region's rural areas.
Oh yeah, it's really growing. There's several subdivisions going in.
And what's being done to accommodate.
So we know that there's need for more housing. We are seeing the growth.
Join KREM 2 News as we explore everything from creative housing solutions to a new bus line designed to ease traffic headaches.
This is Boomtown. Welcome and thank you for joining us in this special Boomtown edition of KREM 2 News. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. In our ongoing Boomtown series, we work to break down the impacts of rapid growth in our area, from changes we can see in our day-to-day lives to projects we have been tracking for decades. There's no doubt the inland Northwest is growing.
And a higher population often means higher home prices. KREM 2's Channing Curtis spoke with local experts to find out just how much a new house could cost you.
Housing is a simple supply and demand situation. So as the demand goes up, that's tend to where we're going to have a little bit higher prices. So that's been one of the trends. And of course, we've seen interest rates that have increased and things like that.
Jacqueline Sandoval has been a realtor in Spokane for nearly 5 years.
There's actually a bathroom up here. It's a half bath.
She says, despite the housing boom we've seen over the last few years, things are starting to level out.
Come on downstairs.
But that doesn't mean the prices are necessarily dropping.
So average home price in Spokane right now is about $391,000. I know that seems like a lot, but we do have some other homes depending on what area you're looking for.
So the question is, how much does the average household have to make in order to afford a median priced home in Spokane or in Coeur d'Alene? So for that answer, I spoke with Michelle Fort at Movement Mortgage. And here's what she told me. The median or the middle home price in Spokane is $415,000. So in order to qualify for a conventional home loan with a 6.5% interest rate, a person or a household needs to make $74,000 a year. Now that's with a 5% or a $20,000 down payment and with no monthly debt. So that means no credit card or car note either. If you have any monthly debt, that can seriously impact just how much of a home loan that you qualify for. Now in Coeur d'Alene, the median home price is $515,000. So under those same parameters, a household or a person will need to bring in just over $91,000 a year. Despite these numbers, many experts like Keith Wells with Architera Homes say that the housing market is actually returning to normal.
And what we've seen over the last couple of years is pandemic. We saw prices do this because everybody came here, and now we've seen prices get back to a normal. They're not in a dive. They're just a much more normal appreciation rate as what we would have typically seen.
North Idaho realtor Rosara Melendez-Baltzer agrees.
I think it's starting to stabilize more so. I don't think it's going to be like a big high jump as we had in previous summers where, you know, the home would just go above asking 100,000 or more. I think it's actually averaging now to close to asking price, and you have a better chance of actually purchasing a home.
She also says that the market is allowing people to have more time to consider their options.
That the rush all of a sudden to move somewhere and do something new has, slowly decreased, and now people are like, okay, we're going to take our time when we purchase a home. We don't need to place an offer and close within, 2 weeks. Now it's like taking the average day of like 98 days to close. So.
And as for whether or not it's a buyer or a seller's market, well, that depends.
Buyers are going to tell you it's a seller's market. Sellers are going to tell you they feel like it's a buyer's market. So that's why for me, I just like to say it's a real estate market.
And owning a home isn't the only option for housing our growing population. Right now, developers are working with the city of Spokane to turn parking lots into apartments.
KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez met with some of those developers to find out just how soon those empty spaces could be filled.
Downtown Spokane is the epitome of a concrete jungle, but not just because of all the buildings, also because of the lack of them.
I mean, it's significant.
That's Kathy Reynes, president and CEO of Coase Development. They own these two lots on 4th Avenue.
One is just a vacant lot. The other is currently used as a parking lot.
They're just like all the other lots scattered around downtown, either just parking or altogether vacant. But fast forward 2 years and this lot will be this.
We are planning on breaking ground this summer.
Co's development is taking advantage of the city's Pavements to People initiative.
We're actually turning parking lots into buildings.
The state and the city are not making developers pay sales and use tax on their construction costs as long as at least half of their new apartments will be affordable.
It took this exemption for us to be able to make this project go. And by go, I mean make it go and keep the rents affordable as well.
By affordable, they mean what the average person making 70 to 80% of Spokane's median income can afford.
By last year's calculations, for a studio, that rent would be just under $1,200 a month.
And they'll have to keep that level of affordability for the next 10 years.
A lot of developers build for the over, 110%. A lot of wonderful groups are very focused on low income.
Leaving a hole for people making just under median income. It's a hole in the market Councilmember Zach Zapone calls the missing middle.
It's more workforce housing, not just like low income housing.
Zapone says building housing in this range will ultimately also open up more low income housing. And he says it will make downtown more walkable.
It reduces our reliance on cars, increases the use of transportation, and it makes downtown safer.
But of course, the big question is, what about our parking?
In 2019, Downtown Spokane Partnership did a study of all of the parking downtown.
The 2019 parking study shows people only use 56% of the available parking spots here in downtown Spokane, even at the busiest times. You can see this lot here has empty parking space after empty parking space. And this isn't the only lot that looks like this in downtown Spokane. 30% of downtown is parking lot.
But that same study says drivers can only get to half of the open parking at any given time because of how fragmented the whole parking system is.
This type of program doesn't mean that there is no new development of parking. We're just saying, like, a surface lot is not the best use of that parking. Let's make it a garage, so then you can have 10 surface lots are now one.
And Raina says they're planning on including parking in their new development.
We're able to do that while building 210 units over the top of the existing parking.
200 units that will chip away at the just 1% vacancy rate Spokane's been stuck at for years.
Coming up next, a project shaping the community it runs through.
Was there ever a part of you that was a little concerned that there was going to be this random chunk of freeway in the middle of the parking lot at SCC that just was going to stay there, unconnected on either end until, funding came through?
That answer and where the North-South Freeway project stands now.
Plus, just a 30-mile drive from downtown Spokane sits Whitman County, a rural area that's now been dubbed the fastest growing in the nation.
And every day I get a call from somebody moving from the west side, trying to get out of Seattle or trying to get out of California to come to Whitman County.
Continuing with our Boomtown coverage, the growing population means more than just crowded streets and sidewalks for the city. It means finding ways to accommodate all those people.
And decades ago, that idea blossomed into the form of a new freeway running north and south across Spokane. Over the years, the North-South Freeway project has hit roadblocks, but recently funding was renewed in the state budget. So I wanted to find out what that means for Spokane Community College, where the bulk of construction is now.
We had a loss of about 900 parking spots, and then internally it really changes a lot about the way our campus is shaped and how people are going to access the services here.
The current completion date for the entire freeway is 2030, but even that isn't a guarantee. Funding in the state's transportation budget is currently allocated for the next 8 years, adding up to more than $1.5 billion, but it's negotiable every 2 years.
And while the North-South Freeway likely will not be drivable anytime soon, there is another transportation project years in the making that is almost ready to accept passengers.
It is the latest effort from the Spokane Transit Authority to improve the city's bus system and create more accessible transportation through key areas like Gonzaga, the University District, and downtown. It's called City Line, and each bus is 60 feet long and powered by electricity. The buses have been on the test drives for months now. They'll be officially open to the public coming up on July 15th.
The fastest growing county in the nation, right here in the inland Northwest. When we come back, we're taking you through the rolling wheat fields to Whitman County, where not everyone wants to be put on the map. And in a once quiet Deer Park, neighborhoods like this one aren't so quiet anymore.
how an increasing population is sparking talks of a new police force, and why some say it just won't work.
People are excited about a fake dream, you know, because it's being sold that way. All we're going to wind up getting is higher taxes and tickets.
For years, we have tracked growth across the region, but mostly in our cities. Now, numbers show that growth is spreading from the urban epicenters to some of the most rural parts of the inland Northwest. KREM 2's Tim Pham takes us to Whitman County now, which was recently named the fastest growing county in the nation.
30 miles south of downtown Spokane is the county line of Whitman County. There's a 2-lane highway and wide open wheat fields as far as your eyes can see. It may not look like there's a lot going on, but don't be fooled. More people are learning the Palouse is a hidden gem.
And every day I get a call from somebody moving from the west side, trying to get out of Seattle or trying to get out of California to come to Whitman County.
A new report from the U.S. Census Bureau reports Whitman County is the fastest growing county in the nation. Pullman is Whitman County's largest city. Jacob T. Davis has lived here for about 30 years and has been a real estate agent for about half that time.
Pullman almost felt like half the town when I first moved to the area in 94.
The numbers prove that too. The U.S. Census Bureau took a look at percent change from 2021 to 2022. Whitman County saw a 10% increase in population after seeing a 9.6% decrease the year before. The news even caught the attention of WSU's head football coach Jake Dickert, sending out a tweet celebrating the recognition.
When I read it, A, it was shocking, but B, it's just a reminder that we are different. You know, on the West Coast, there's a lot of major metropolitan cities, a lot of busyness of life, and a lot of fast-paced in our society. And just another reminder of Whitman County and Pullman being different.
The largest employers in the county are Washington State University, Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories, and the agricultural sector. All the growth puts pressure on the city's housing.
So we know that there's need for more housing. We are seeing the growth. They are doing that. Fast enough? No, because again, you have a shortage of tradespeople, not only here, but in Spokane.
Mayor Glenn Johnson is in his 5th term as Pullman's mayor. He's also lived on the Palouse for decades and seen firsthand how growth is impacting housing, schools, first responders, and the hospital.
When that was built back in 2003 and 2004, 8-9 rooms ought to be enough. Not anymore.
Johnson says there's no denying the county is growing. He believes the numbers used in the census data undermeasured the population during COVID, assuming many students went home.
And I think OFM, the Office of Financial Management, shortchanged us. We sent several letters to them. Hey, we do have the students here. So those are some of the campaigns that we tried to do at that time, even though they said, no, you lost all these students, they're home. No, they're not.
It's not just Pullman seeing growth.
I have people that call me from Spokane because they can only afford $135,000 and they'll buy a house in Endicott or Tico because they can't buy anywhere else in the state of Washington.
It may be cheaper, but Davis says it's still a seller's market. There's only 66 listings in the entire county. 39 of them are in Pullman.
But I think Pullman and the Palouse and Whitman County possess things that you can't put value on, right? I can go watch my boys play softball in 3 minutes. I can get to their games. I can watch Riley, my daughter, you know, at the Art Top Theater in downtown Pullman and get there in 4 minutes.
You know, there's a lot of people that don't want growth. They want to stay small. So I think there's always going to be people against growth and development. And then there's going to be people like me that are for it.
Reporting in Whitman County, I'm Tim Pham, KREM 2 News.
Heading north now to another rural community, Deer Park. The city has a low crime rate, but some residents are afraid the growing population means it won't stay that way. KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy digs into the debate about Deer Park opening its own police department.
The quiet and safety of Deer Park Meadows subdivision drew Linda Androsky here 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's really growing. There's several subdivisions going in. A lot of people like the quiet, small town atmosphere.
Right now, Deer Park contracts out to the Spokane County Sheriff to have 2 deputies patrol full-time. Coverage City Council member Caleb Stapp says they've tried to increase.
Each time in the last 7 years, we've gotten this consistent answer of Deer Park, you don't need this yet.
Just within the last few weeks, Spokane County agreed to add a 3rd deputy. But for Jason Upchurch,
our desire was to have more.
It's still not enough. He's been comparing coverage and costs in comparable towns like Chewelah, which has its own police force.
So it's $900,000 a year for three deputies, so about 120 hours of coverage every week. So to put that into perspective, Chewelah, their entire policing budget, I think, is around $935,000, and they have 5 officers.
It's one reason Upchurch has led the push for a Deer Park Police Department. March numbers from Spokane County show while Deer Park crime has increased, in some cases 500% one year to the next, the actual numbers are still low. But there are other numbers that concern those wanting more police presence.
I have heard those stories of longer response times, 45 minutes or an hour to get out after a call.
That same March report shows Deer Park residents are calling for law enforcement more, but getting no response much more frequently.
When I read the reports and I see a 50% increase over 2 years, that's a big increase.
Though not everyone is concerned, at least about crime rates.
People are excited about a fake dream, because it's being sold that way. All we're going to wind up getting is higher taxes and tickets.
After living in cities like Portland and Seattle, Mike Achura isn't worried about what he says is petty crime in Deer Park.
Investigation fees, all the different parts of the lab fees, all that. We can't afford all that. If there was a serious crime here, right now, the Sheriff's Department would cover all those costs.
But is something like starting an entire police department from scratch even possible in Deer Park? Where would the police station go? Would it actually be cheaper than what the city's already doing? So many questions. So the city is turning to the experts.
This is the first serious look into starting our own police department again that I'm aware of.
The city put out requests for proposals last month to have a consulting firm evaluate the costs and feasibility of creating a police force here.
So I would like it to happen sooner rather than later. Again, things aren't going to get cheaper over time.
But it likely won't be until fall when the full possibilities and barriers to the department dream will be presented to council. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Live entertainment is back in full force.
Still ahead, Spokane fans are proving over and over again the Lilac City is the place to take the stage. How all this growth is helping Spokane get its groove back.
Big-name artists are choosing Spokane to kick off their concerts, and the growing population means they can count on a sold-out show.
Okay, so what does that mean for the future of our entertainment industry? KREM 2 photojournalist Dave Summers went to find out.
The Foo Fighters, that's going to be the first show back in the United States.
Coming up on May 27th, Lord Huron.
The Beach Boys. The calendar's great for this year. A lot of the shows that we have on sale right now are either sold out or getting really close to selling out. Matt Meyer, Director of Entertainment. What we've been doing, it's something that I've been pitching just because from Spokane standpoint, from the financial standpoint, whether you're looking at the hotels, you're looking at the restaurants, the walkability of Spokane, it's a lot cheaper than starting, say, in like Seattle or like a major market, right? That plays a role into it. And then also from our booking partners over at Climate Pledge, they're pitching it as well because we can start the tour here and then they can jump over to the Climate Pledge and either head down the coast or back up into Canada, wherever they need to go, and start hitting the major markets.
Don't gotta say goodnight.
Macklemore.
Modest Mouse and the Pixies.
Dierks Bentley.
Father John Misty and Ziggy Marley. I'm Amy Lindsay and I'm the Park Programming Manager with Riverfront. We opened it in 2019, was our grand opening in September. We contracted with AEG Presents. They're the second largest concert promoter in the world, and they are the official booking providers and concert production partners for Riverfront Park. The concert series was part of the master plan, the 2014 master plan. The community asked for this. You know, we host a variety of events, but our goal is really to provide something for everyone.
Rick Springfield, Alabama, Big Head Todd and the Monsters, Blues Traveler, Matt Gibson, Director of Vibe at Northern Quest Resort and Casino. This has been an amazing program built over many years with expertise and knowing people in the industry, reaching out to music agents, selling them on our venue, selling them on the experience that we have out here. We just won Best Live Concert Venue in the region recently from the Inlander, and we're really proud of all of that it's come to this. It's because of our guests that we're able to do some of these things. And as we have built this relationship with music agents and musicians and acts, we get more people asking about it each and every year. This year we started up an exclusive partnership with Live Nation, so they're assisting with booking the shows out at Northern Quest. In the years to come, you're going to see a lot of those larger names, a little more exciting names that maybe you've seen in Spokane in the past, so we're really excited to be a part of that.
Tennessee West, yeah.
Goose.
Lauren Daigle.
Three Doors Down. As important as getting the big names is in this sort of industry, it's also important to have a really great venue.
Oh, they don't have to.
Live entertainment is back in full force, so lots of artists are on tour, and it's great that they want to come here, and they have fans here, that's for sure.
There's something for everyone this season.
And that is going to do it for us here on this KREM 2 News Boomtown Special.
For more Boomtown coverage, be sure to check out KREM 2 Plus, where you can watch our latest stories streaming on demand. KREM 2 Plus is free to download for Roku and Amazon Fire.
And be sure to keep it right here on KREM 2 News for more exclusive Boomtown stories. Thank you for watching.